Hey, Drew, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Joe sort of emphasized this simplicity of it all, trying to like keep you guys locked in on the small things and emphasize playoffs like the regular season. Is that something you've experienced at your past steps, or is that sort of a mentality that's unique to Joe Mazzulla in this run?
Um, I think it's unique to this team because I think just partially of based off how well we did during the regular season, um, how good we feel our team is, uh, and the time we have until the next game or competition. I think before for me it was just about being consistent, which is still a key now, but um, some things are just a little different now.
Drew, what is it like guarding Luka Doncic? What is it like guarding Kyrie Irving? It's two of the assignments you'll probably have in the series.
It's hard. It's hard, but it's fun. Two of the best scorers in the league. They've been doing it all of their career, and you've seen what they've been doing in the playoffs. They are in a really good groove, um, not just scoring but playmaking, making their team better in crucial moments and closeout games and whatever it is. They've been performing very very great. So it's not going to be easy, but it'll be fun.
Hi, Drew. Over here. How you doing, man?
What's going on?
Hi. Yeah, just to follow up on Bobby a little, just briefly. I know they're different players, different positions, but back in the Minnesota-Denver series, Minnesota had their greatest success by speeding the Joker up. Is that something that you borrow in terms of getting Luka out of his comfort zone without getting too deep?
You can try. I think Luca goes at his own pace. I don't think Luca really gets sped up. So yeah, you can try as much as possible. I would say the same thing with Kai. I think that's what makes them great is that they control their own tempo, they control their own pace, the way that they play. Sometimes you might think that you haven't sped up, and then they throw a lob to Daniel Gafford or Lively. So um, again, two tough matchups, two tough teams gonna go out here and have some fun.
Hey, Drew, Al was just up here, and obviously he's been in the finals before, but he was talking about how after being there once, you kind of learn what comes along with being in the finals, all the off the court stuff, the different rhythms and all that stuff. From your perspective of being there once on the court, what can you learn of what it takes to win an NBA finals from being there once before and going back again?
I mean, it takes everything. Um, I literally say it takes everything. I think it's one of the hardest things that I've ever done. Uh, Mentally, physically, you're exhausted. Teams know each other so well that at this point, it's kind of about making plays. Um, it's about executing. But I think for me, the biggest thing was just how exhausted you were, how exhausted I was because I left everything out there. And again, we were down 0-2. And I think even having the feeling and encouragement of like, it's not over, but I think it's because my team had the mentality of it's not over until we say it's over. So I think being able to go out there and fight and leave everything out on the court, we have the best chance of doing it that way.
How do you verbalize that to your teammates?
I don't really think I need to. My teammates are motivated. They've been a lot of them, and the core guys have been to the finals, and they knew what it felt like to lose. And win or loss, I think just making to the finals is motivation enough. Getting to the peak or the pinnacle and either falling short or making it over, it's like it's kind of this rush that you want to get back and do it again. So um, I don't think they need motivation from me. I think it's about going out there, executing, locking into uh, what we have to do as early as possible, and then going out there and playing together and having fun.
Drew, you've played a bunch of different places, but everybody knows the history of the Celtics. What's it like for you getting to experience the finals here in Boston?
Um, we'll see. We haven't played a we haven't played a game yet in the finals. I mean, again, I grew up a Laker fan, so I've seen some of those games just going against each other and the history, the battles. the intensity, just being able to, kind of wish to be in that position. So I'm excited to see what it's about.
Jrue, the finals, you're so close. You've played a certain way all year long. When it's this close, how hard is it to keep playing the way you've been playing versus saying, I'm going to go and make, like, we talk about making plays, but like breaking ranks, you know what I mean? Like when you want it so bad, it's like, okay, I'm going to do something extra. How hard is it to avoid that and stick with what's been successful all year long?
I guess if it's not broke, then what are we fixing, right? I feel like we've literally played the same way the whole season. We have different styles and different ways to play just based off the talent that we have. But I'm not really sure I can answer that question because I feel like consistency has always been something that's been super detrimental in my career in general. So I think kind of getting to this point and us being as consistent as possible, playing our game and doing it that way. I do understand, like, sometimes when stuff gets rough and you want to get out of it, you're like, well, I could do it myself. But the only way that I've learned to win is to do it as a team, and I feel like that's what we're going to do.
You guys have played a specific way, though, with Al in that starting lineup. What is the process of working Kristaps back in?
I also kind of go back to the regular season where sometimes KP was out and Al was in and vice versa. We literally went through it before. We kind of went through all scenarios before of what could happen or what would happen or whatever. And it kind of shows. Losing to Indiana by whatever we did in Indiana for them to go into the play-in tournament, like, and then we end up playing Indiana in the playoffs. We're up 22 against Cleveland in Cleveland during the regular season, and then we end up playing them in the playoffs. So like it's like, I don't know if it's supposed to happen that way, but it just happened that way. And it's kind of the same with that. KP is one of our best scorers. He's one of our best rim protectors, and I feel like we're all mature enough to get back in the groove or have him fit right back in whenever he comes back. So, and we do want KP back. We can't wait for him to be back and be a part of this on the court. So,
Jrue, Joe was talking earlier about timing and how things just kind of line up, how they're supposed to line up, and it is, you have control over some things. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes things just line up like they're supposed to line up. You were traded away with to Portland. You don't have obviously a say in that. You're traded here to Boston. You decided to re-up and re-sign it in April. Is this kind of the best case scenario for you, how things have worked out? Does it feel like timing has kind of worked out for you to be in this spot at this time for this team at this moment?
I don't know if it's the best, just because I don't know of any other option. Like I think that this is what was supposed to happen, and I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm glad that I'm in this moment. And I would say Joe has talked about that a lot, especially this season, is being in the moment, and that's what I've tried to do. Didn't try to worry about the contracts, didn't try to worry about any of that. It was so much about winning and why we're at this point now. So it's going to be the same from here on. Is like, I'm supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to be with my teammates, and we're supposed to do this together. And it is because that's the way it was supposed to be. It sounded real confusing.